Hello, welcome back to Sailing Extreme. We're back on the boat today. We're doing a few more jobs, so I thought I'd take you through a few of the bits that we've done so far. So in the fore cabin, we've got our batteries that are down here. We've got 2 leisure batteries, and we've now inserted a SmartShunt. So that's not going to affect the amount of power that we've got, but it gives us a lot of information. We can now monitor on our phone how much power in the batteries, the health of our batteries, and also the power going out from the batteries, which will just help us if we do have any issues going forward to try and work out exactly where the problem could be coming from and keep an eye on how much energy we're using if we are away on the boat for a more prolonged period of time. So that's been fitted. I'll show a little bit more as to how we managed to fit that. It's a little bit of a fiddle as we had to alter a little bit of the wiring and find space for that next to the batteries. So we'll show you a little bit about how we did that. Can you take that off of there and insulate that and move that along?
Yes. Challenge will be yeah, that's what I thought.
So our main challenge was where the wires connecting to our batteries had been stripped, leaving bare wire clamped to the battery terminals, which, although this is fine and works, it was not ideal as the bare wires were showing some signs of corrosion. If we were to cut the wire at this point, it would leave us with a very short length to be able to add a ring connector and attach this to the SmartShunt. This would also have made it very difficult in sighting the SmartShunt. So this was followed by a significant amount of time head scratching as to the best way to proceed before cutting any wires and determining the best location for the SmartShunt.
So it comes up, you see where the wires, there's a hole right in the corner where some wires come through.
Yeah.
So it sort of comes past those wires, yeah, up and then across to where it's coming out. Does that make sense? So it comes from this corner, yeah, across like this and then out here. Okay. So if it were to just come up and out here, yeah, then you wouldn't have the bit of wire that goes across there.
No. Okay.
So yes, it might just be an inch or so,
but we would get a little bit.
But also it just means that it's coming out where we want it and not having to then try and get it around a corner, and we can mount it there, can't we?
I'm just going to have a quick look if we've got any slack down that end of the boat. So I think it's worth having a look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if there is,
and we could put it through.
Because if you're going to cut it, you sort of need to cut it where that mankiness is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise it seems a bit stupid not to.
After considering all possibilities and quite some time of head scratching, including potentially mousing an entirely new wire, we decided to clean up and recover the exposed wire with self-amalgamating tape and make a cut further along where we could attach a new ring connector. With that decision made, we determine the location for the SmartShunt and ensure we have all the relevant terminals needed before cutting the wire.
And if we did it there, that's got, and that would just be crimped out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's what you've got left over if that's enough to get.
Well, so where my finger is where the crimp's going to be.
Yeah.
Which will be, yeah, that'll be long enough.
Well, if it's not, we just put an extra bit of wire. And it'll probably be easier to put that wire onto there, won't it?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to...
Yeah, cut it here.
With the plan in place and everything we needed to hand, it was time to get the batteries connected back up, as someone had arrived to help service the outboard.
I'm inside, it's alright.
Right up there, the battery, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a new SmartShunt,
Right.
which connects to Bluetooth, and then that basically,
Tells you what you got wherever you are.
and it also tells you, like, you just connect to it via Bluetooth on your phone, and then if you're using the house loads, it will tell you how many days worth you've got left.
You haven't got two batteries then?
I've got two batteries, but they're the house batteries and the starter battery. So when they were old batteries about a year ago,
The ones
yes, I wanted to change them to lithium, but it's expensive, so I went for two AGMs, but went from 70s to 285s. So we've got like 170 amp hour, which have been fine, but you know, only just that sort of, like, if we're going to be away for maybe a week or 2 weeks on the boat, it's just useful because we've got a solar panel, and then the electric outboard charges for a bit, but we only actually have the outboard on for about 10 minutes getting out of harbour.
they don't whack a lot in.
No, and we don't have it on for very long, so it's just then basically solar panel,
But yeah.
which is probably a bit shit.
Yeah.
You
That's
almost need a water generator to drag behind, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was saying to Becky, actually, in about 5-10 years time, when that engine comes up to getting a bit old and need to replace, they've now got 10-15 horsepower electric outboards, which will do auto generation. So you then just stick it down, because we could sell that, because we'd be sailing at 12 knots, and it sticks a load of current back in.
Wind turbine,
Oh, no, I hate those, they do my head in. Right, I'll connect this up and it's done.
Then a generator, just carry a generator with you.
Yeah, I mean, we've not really had battery issues.
Well, we have got a separate solar panel and a power pack, so if we do go away, we take that with us anyway.
You got a fridge on board, haven't you?
No
No.
fridge, no, just the cool box.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the biggest drain, but all the newer ones are quite good. All the old ones are just battery rapers. Right.
There we go. Boom. So much easier with the right one.
Shrinky. Just catch on the back edge of that. Catch on the back edges. guys are going to see when he starts the engine up what happens. Open your app. Oh, did you bring that Valkyrie with us?
No, but
Oh, but you're going to screw up, aren't you? How many tools is this in? Got a little power light on it.
With everything connected back up, we had already pre-installed the Victron mobile phone app and paired the device ready to go. After adding some basic information about our battery capacity, which was all very straightforward, our SmartShunt is now up and running.
So here we are in the main cabin. It's a bit of a mess. There are tools everywhere. We're just having a bit of a tidy up. Today's job has been fitting a new VHF radio. Got the box behind here. It's the em-trak VHF radio. We did already have a VHF radio installed, but it didn't have any AIS. So we were having a think as to what we wanted to do. And we've got a little bit of a mix of electronics on the boat. So we've got some older style ST40 screens, speed and depth transducers that go to them. They're on the old Raymarine Sea-Talk system. We've then got the wind instrument that we put on last year, and that's wired down the mast, and we've got an Axiom plotter. Both of those are connected up to the more up-to-date Sea-Talk NG, which is NME 2000. Unfortunately, neither of those two systems talk to one another, and we were looking to potentially update the older depth and speed screens, but we are little bit limited with the space that we've got to be able to put more modern, larger style screens where the current screens are. I'll show you a picture of that in a moment. It's raining outside at the moment, so we'll stay in the dry, but we'll show you our current setup outside. So we toyed with the idea of changing screens, possibly updating our chart plotter, potentially adding a separate AIS module, but none of that seemed to be particularly straightforward or economically viable. So we made the decision. We took our old VHF out, which isn't actually that old. It only went in beginning of last season. But we have now replaced it with the em-trak VHF, which has got a ton more features, which Luke, I'll let you explain maybe a bit about some of the features.
Yep, so the em-trak X100 is new. So basically it's a VHF with DSC already built in like most standard radios. It's also got GPS and it has AIS Class B, which will mean not only does it pick up AIS signals, it will also transpond and send our signal. That will, with an NME2 cable, plug into our Raymarine network just with a little adapter. And then that means we will get Raymarine, our Raymarine Axiom plotter will have AIS out in the main cockpit. And also it's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so it can connect to my iPad, so I can have AIS on Navionics on my iPad. The other advantage to it is you download an app for your mobile phone and it will connect to an iPhone or Android, and then it will then do a man overboard. So if you fall off the boat, highly unlikely on Trimaran, we've got some nets that normally would save us, but if you were to fall overboard, it would do a man overboard automatically and give you the direction bearing and automatically set that off for you. So the plan is we're just getting it in, we've just installed it, cut the hole, made sure it fitted, putting our hand in a tiny little cupboard to try and get all the cables sorted, and then we're going to just need to finish off doing some wiring for the power. Once that's completed, we can then power it up, and then hopefully I'd like to go through all the different systems so I can give you a bit of an in-depth view of what it looks like and explain a bit more.
Cool. So that's mostly our job for today. We'll show you a little bit of us fiddling about trying to work out the best way to make the hole a little bit bigger from the older VHF. So that took a little bit of time fiddling about, but it's in, it's looking good. And yeah, quite excited to get that up and running, powered up, and we can then see what features it's got.
It's just the only thing that I can see being a real arse is getting my hand in round here to then basically, because you have to put that on.
Yeah.
So once it's through the hole, you've then got to slide that on there, do that bolt up, and then
Snug that, but you've only got to get your hand round to the back of the box, which I can probably do.
yeah.
Yes, it's going to be fiddly, but
Once again, there was a bit of time spent planning the best position for the VHF and ensuring that we planned things carefully. It is always a bit nerve-wracking cutting holes into the boat, so we made sure to measure twice, cut once. To explain to anyone watching who does not know, AIS stands for Automatic Identification System, which in our case both sends and receives information, allowing boats to see one another and their predicted course, even in darkness and poor visibility. With plans to sail further in the future, involving potentially crossing busy shipping lanes, we wanted to have AIS for additional safety. After satisfying ourselves that we were sure the new unit would fit, we pre-drilled some small pilot holes using the template we had 3D printed before drilling out the corners ready to cut.
So this is us. We've got the radio in. With Becky's using her small hands to try and get in, so we can then tighten the bolts up.
So this should be the moment of truth. Battery switch on. We have power. Here, the bottom right. We have power. It wants our MSI, and there's going to be a few settings that we'll need to put in there, but power's a go-go. Cool. With that?
Very pleased. Yes.
Excellent. I think we'll leave it there for today. We will come back. We've got a cable that we need to get just to connect that to our chart plotter. But once we've got that, we can get all of that spaghetti junction put back in.
And tidied up.
And not go back in that electric corner for quite some time, hopefully. So, all good. Excellent. Pleased with that. So here's the app that links with our Victron SmartShunt. So that gives us information about how much power is being drawn. At the moment we've just got the new VHF turned on.
It's using 7 watts.
Yeah, so 7 watts of power going to that. And batteries are charged at 100%. We did take the batteries off, take them home, give them a full charge before putting them back on and connecting the smart meter. But that's quite a good interface, and it also gives you the trends as to how much power has been used over time and various charts. So that'll be something that we'll be having a little bit of a play with and just seeing how much various instruments draw from the battery power.
I quite like the fact it gives you time remaining, so it tells us we've got 10 days worth of battery power.
If we were just using the VHF. But yeah, that'll be handy to keep an eye on. If we're away on the boat, we can see how much power we're using up and whether we might run into difficulties with lack of power. So that's everything we've done in here today. We've done a little bit of work outside on the rudder. I think it's just about stopped raining, so I'll take you outside and we can take a little look at where we've got to with that. Thanks.
Boom!
So out here we've had the winches serviced. So there was a couple of broken springs in there, so that was a job well done. What else? We've had the outboard engine has also been serviced, a couple of cables changed on there. We've also taken the rudder stock off the back of the boat.
Yeah, so this is undone the bolts here, and then this plate then will come off.
And then that will be rudder stock off, and we can then get to replacing the bearing.
So last year we took the had a bit of play in the rear of the lower rudder bearing, which we changed, but we ran out of time and didn't change the top bearing. So we sailed last year. There was still a slight bit of play, so we've knocked out the tube, which is stainless steel tube, which had a Teflon ring, which there's still sort of the remnants of it just in here. And then we've replaced it with a new updated version from Corning, which has got a Delrin low friction plastic, that bearing surface at the top and the bottom, so that should make it nice and stiff.
which will mean that the helm feels really nice and secure, which I'm looking forward to using.
Yeah, so we just got the rudder stock and obviously the rudder to go back on there, but I think we'll do a little bit of anti-fouling first and then pop all of that back on. But otherwise we are getting pretty much good to go. Yeah, hopefully.
Clean
Fingers crossed.
polish.
Yeah, clean, polish, anti-foul, and launched hopefully within the next month.
Yeah.
So that's where we're up to. We'll keep you updated. We'll do a little bit more of a tutorial once we've got the AIS fully functional and set up, and walk through some of those features. But that's hopefully all good to go, and looking forward to seeing how that's going to work. So we'll see you again soon.
Bye.